welcome to Smaulgld's update on the Shanghai Gold Exchange withdrawals for the month of February 2017. Well, the Shanghai Gold Exchange February withdrawals were the highest February on record. Shanghai Gold Exchange withdrawals rose 67% in February to 179.237 tons, up from 107.6 tons last February in 2016. Shanghai Gold Exchange February withdrawals were down slightly from January, but then you have a few extra days in January. They were down 3% from the 184 tons withdrawn in January 2017. This, as I mentioned, was the largest February total yet. Let's take a quick look at the February numbers. There you go. So February 2017, the record-setting withdrawals that month compared to last year, 2015, and edging out 2014. This also coincides with India, which we mentioned, preliminary February report for Indian gold imports were about 100 tons. So India and China are heading in the opposite directions once again, with larger amounts of physical gold demand in February and smaller amounts at the US and Perth mints being sold there. So you have a distinction between the two physical markets. We had a very poor sales month. For those of you who follow this channel, you know that we report on US Mint, Perth Mint, Indian gold imports, Shanghai Gold Exchange, and so on. And we do it monthly, and you can see the difference between the two. If those of you interested in purchasing silver or gold for yourself, whether you're in the West or not, well, I suppose you can only buy, they only ship to the US and Canada, the merchants that I feature, but you can do so through the Smaulgld site. It's not investment advice, it's not a recommendation that you do so, but if you've made the decision that that's what you'd like to do, please consider comparing shipping and pricing through the Smaulgld site, because I do get a small commission if you buy through the site, so please consider doing that. Also, please consider making a donation via PayPal or Bitcoin at the links below, or even becoming a Patreon at the link below. You can do this through the YouTube channel or going to smaulgld.com, clicking on the banners and or links. And obviously you can see the Silver Chinese Panda advertisement right there. Those are limited edition coins. They generally don't make more than 8 million in any given year, and they always change the picture of the panda on the front, so each year is slightly different. And back to the Shanghai Gold Exchange, so that's 179 tons. That's a decent amount. You can see we had a bit of a fall off last year. This is a monthly chart from 2008 all the way to 2017, but you can see recently it's picked back up. It's not quite at the manic levels of 2015, but definitely with February being the biggest month, even bigger than the record year in 2015 and also bigger than the year in 2014. So there's a pickup in gold, physical gold demand in China for sure here. Also, here's where we end up with so far this year, just 2 months under our belt. 379 tons withdrawn. That's a fairly decent amount. Now, if you look at that and you try to extrapolate it out, well, it's clearly going to beat 2008 and it's going to beat 2009. And if you carry that out, if they average 189 tons a month, they will get to about 2274, 2300. So within striking range of the record 2015. We don't know how far the year is going to go, but so far there is a large amount of physical demand in China once again. Also, just to get an understanding of what happens in China, you can't track Chinese gold by what's on the People's Bank of China's balance sheet. We talk about that every month when we release those numbers. And you can't necessarily get a sense of it just by their gold mining production or by their Hong Kong imports or their Shanghai Gold Exchange imports, because the latter we don't get detailed information on. Hong Kong imports are only a portion of their imports. We don't know the component of the Shanghai. And then, of course, there's the monthly domestic mining production that ends up being about 450, 500 tons a year. But what we do here is we track through Nick Laird's charts from Gold Charts R Us the Hong Kong imports, and then we look at what the percentage of Hong Kong imports are necessary to satisfy the withdrawals on the Shanghai Gold Exchange. And as you can see here, Hong Kong imports in December were 31 tons, but the gold withdrawn on the Shanghai Gold Exchange was 184 tons. So imports from Hong Kong only made up about 20% or 20%, 17.2% of the gold needed. So obviously the gold is coming from somewhere else. It could either be existing already in the country, it could be coming from newly mined, it could be coming from Shanghai imports. We don't know. But that number has fallen down, but the withdrawals have gone up. So you can go to Smaulgld. You can see these charts better. They don't show up very well. You've got your long-term monthly withdrawal chart on the Shanghai Exchange. You've got your February each year numbers, and you've also got the annual numbers from 2008 to 2017. You could see also this Chinese import chart a lot better over at smaulgld.com. You can also donate directly from Smaulgld. There's more buying opportunities for different coins and for to compare pricing and shipping. I don't have an SD Bullion link below, but I do have banners if those of you who wish to buy through them. I've got BGASC, Golden Eagle Coins, which is not listed below, JM Bullion, Money Metals Exchange. So there is a wide range. You can buy emergency food. So please visit the site and also subscribe to the site, smaulgld.com. Just fill in your email address and follow us on Twitter. Thank you very much.